Snap the code on back to unlock Halloween fun. It didn't do anything. I don't know, I'm not a new age dude. I'm not good with this newfangled face page and Snapchat. This will be interesting. I need to wash my windshield, but I'm out of washer fluid. So we're gonna pour some water on the windshield. Well, that sort of worked. Okay, so I spent most of the day, in fact the entire day, cleaning and doing laundry and doing my dishes and things like that, editing some other videos. So I'm getting kind of a late start today. It's getting a little dark, but I'm on my way to my girlfriend's house. We're gonna cook on a grill tonight. There are a few places I would like to drive around and show you up here, but I just really don't have the time to do it today. She's been waiting for me all day, and I kept saying, I got one more load of laundry to do, I got this thing to do, I got one more thing to do here. So, but what I thought I would do was tell you 10 things about me, and then leave it to you guys to ask me questions in the comments, and then I will make a Q&A video in the near future answering those questions. So if there's anything you want to know about me, feel free to ask. I can only imagine what some of those questions are going to be, since I'm putting it out there. But, so I'm just going to tell you 10 things about me. The first thing, I am 42 years old, and although I never lived there, I was born in a hospital in a little town called Oberlin, Ohio. Why that is important, I don't know, but it's number one. Number two, the first job I ever had. I guess if you are talking about the first job that I ever had, that I actually ever received a W-2 for, that would have to be at a little restaurant called Goodies in Massillon, Ohio. I did a video on that not too long ago because it looked abandoned to me. I walked around and looked in the windows, and the person who actually is using that building now saw my video and got really mad at me because I was peeking in the windows of their business. Turns out that it is now a little appliance store. By the end of the conversation, I got along great with the guy, and all was forgiven. But yeah, the first job I ever had that I actually, was on the books and got a W-2 from was Goodies. It was a little Greek restaurant. Before that, I've always kind of been a hustler. So I did deliver papers for the Plain Dealer for a while. That was crazy. They expect a little, 11, 12-year-old kid to go around and collect money from these people. Half of them don't answer their door. And I remember one time this guy let me in, and they had me sitting there in the living room with them for 20 minutes while they smoked pot. And then they eventually gave me the money. But before that, I did things like I sold individual pieces of gum in school, because I saw the need for the gum, because everybody wanted gum. If somebody had a piece of gum, everybody wanted it. So what I did was I went down to the local store, I think it was an A&P, and I bought a couple of those multi-packs of like Bubblicious or Hubba Bubba, opened them all up so I had individual pieces. I went to school the next day, and I popped in a piece of gum and started chewing it. Everybody saw me chewing gum and wanted it. I'm like, 50 cents. So I was here selling pieces of gum for like 50 cents a piece, where the whole pack only cost 40, and in the multi-pack it came out to like, 15 cents per pack, something like that. I was raking it in. It was awesome. So number three, some of you may have heard this story before, but the way that I got started skateboarding, when I moved to Massillon, I was 11 years old. I was a major nerd. I came from a little town in the country, and I didn't know anything about style or anything like that. So I went to school the first day wearing like these blue jeans. I mean Wrangler blue jeans. A button-up short sleeve shirt that was just so thin. I had a pocket up here, and I literally had pencils, pens, a thesaurus, and a dictionary in that pocket. And I was wearing red suspenders. I got teased so bad. I was such a nerd. Now, that was 7th grade. Between 7th and 8th grade, over the summer, we went to this hotel with my parents, and my brother and I met this kid who basically introduced us to skateboarding. He was wearing Airwalks shoes that he said were really popular in his school. So before we went back to school, we were shopping over at the mall. We went in Montgomery Ward's, and I saw that they had Airwalks. So I made my dad buy me a pair of Airwalks, and I really had not made the connection between skateboarding and Airwalks yet. Just so you know, Airwalks were a skateboarding shoe back in the day. I wore those Airwalks to school the first day of 8th grade, and my whole world changed. Everybody was calling me a thrasher, and I really didn't even get what a thrasher was at first until this other group of kids come up to me and asked me if I skate, and I'm like, yeah, because I realized just then and there that that's what it was about. There was a connection between the shoes and skateboarding, and I was like, well, yeah, I skate, and I didn't. I had some crappy skateboard at home, but I mean, it got me in the door, and from that time forward, I was actually pretty popular, because then people got to know me for how I am, which is just a goofball, and everybody liked me. And besides that, I fell in love with skateboarding, and it's been a part of my life ever since. Number 4, I absolutely hated school. To make a long story short, I graduated with a 1.8 in high school. My English teacher hated me, and I should have failed, but she passed me just to get me out of her face. And that's a fact. Number 5, why am I bald? I shave my head. I have been shaving my head for about 20 years now, I guess. I saw a movie called Play It to the Bone with Woody Harrelson. He was a boxer, and he looked awesome with his head shaved and a goatee. So I shaved my head. I looked awesome. And then by the time I decided I wanted to grow my hair back, I couldn't. It was really thin. And if I grew it back now, I would end up looking like Hulk Hogan, which would kind of be cool. Number 6, I've met Hulk Hogan. He came to our local Walmart, I think it was. I took my kids to see him, and I had him sign my forehead. Here's a picture. Number 7, I have never used any drugs in my entire life. Now, let me clarify that. I have smoked cigarettes, I have drank beer and all kinds of alcohol when I was younger, but the closest thing I ever came to using any drugs was huffing starting fluid. I know, it was stupid. I inhaled so much that night that I had like this out-of-body experience, I guess you'd call it, where my body just kind of took over and went nuts. And I was saying, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. And my friend Sean jumped on me, and he was holding me down. And I said, Sean, get off me. I don't know what I'm going to do, because I really thought that I was like going to beat him up or something. It lasted for a few minutes, and then it was over. I've never smoked pot. I've never dropped acid. I've never done anything. Nothing like that. In high school, I was straight edge, and I even wore clothes with the straight edge sign on it and had straight edge on my hands. Number 8, my dad thinks I have used every drug under the sun. My dad is a drug and alcohol counselor, and when I was growing up, everything I did, he would sit me down and question me up one side and down the other. He had me doing everything. But despite my pleas, he would never take me down to the hospital and have me tested, because he didn't want to know the truth. He wanted to be right. Number 9, I was saved by my guardian angel. My life was saved by my guardian angel. I was like 8 years old. We moved into a new town, into a new house. We had people over that we were meeting, and they had kids. And the kids weren't allowed in the house. So what they would do, they would run downstairs and they would gather up all those little twisty helicopter things that fall off trees, you know, with the seed in it. You drop it and they all twist down. They would run them to me at the front door. I'd run upstairs to my bedroom, drop them out the window. They'd all twist down, and he'd catch them, you know, around and around. I went running down the stairs towards the front door. I put out my hand like this because it was one of those that you'd push to open a door. Put out my hand like that to push, and I went straight through the glass. It shattered, and I'm not kidding. My guardian angel grabbed me, pulled me back through, and stood me straight up in front of the glass. There were giant shards of glass that would have gone straight through me and killed me. I have this enormous scar right here. It's like a 3-inch scar, if you can see it there, where one of the shards of glass went straight in, and I had to get, I don't know how many stitches there, but that was it right there. And number 10, while we're on the subject of a guardian angel, about 10 years ago, I was working as a nurse, and I was just getting speeding tickets left and right. I think I could only get one more point on my license before I would lose my license. And on my way to work, I got a speeding ticket. When I got there, my nursing supervisor handed me this, which says, "Never drive faster than your guardian angel can fly." And it's a visor clip. I stuck it up here, and I haven't had a speeding ticket since. I've not even been pulled over by a cop. So that's twice in my life that my guardian angel was right there for me. Where was she when I fell off my skateboard, huh? I'll forgive that one. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you go because I got to get in the store here. I'm going to grab some hamburger, some sausage. I can't think of what it's called, bratwurst or something like that. We're going to make it on the grill. It's going to be delicious. Tomorrow, October 1st. Tomorrow starts a full month of Halloween themed vlogs. It's going to be so awesome. Make sure you subscribe if you have not. Ask me any question you want below, and I will get to it in my Q&A. If I don't get to it, it means your question was stupid. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.